Welcome back to the channel, folks. It's good to have you all here. Hope you're having a lovely day. I'm a little bit under the weather today, so I do apologise if my voice sounds a bit rough or I keep every 2 seconds. But we're going to battle through, because today we're going to react to Tom Aspinall having a face-off with Jon Jones. Obviously, this is a fight that a lot of us want to see. Today we're going to react to the video and we're going to talk about what the future of the heavyweight division of the UFC is looking like currently. Anyway, on to the video. I can't even imagine being that big, you know what I mean? Like, just the size of you, you know what I mean? Like, you just must be fucking hungry all the time, just trying to keep track of your calories and things, you know?
Spicy as fuck. Proper spicy.
Oh, we don't like spice, do we?
Oh.
Want your eggs, mate?
No, man. Meet and greet time. I'm looking forward to it, mate. Good stuff. Looking forward to it.
Okay, so obviously this is him at the conference that he's walking around for fighters and things. Just wondering when he could have up to Jon Jones.
Just finished the meet and greet. We're gonna go and see if we can see Jon Jones to say hello quick. See what he says.
Here we go.
Just saying hello. Just saying hello. What's going on, man? How are you? I'm all good, man.
Oh shit.
We're gonna do this thing.
I would hope so.
I would love to, man.
I would hope so.
Respect, man.
All the best.
Respect.
All the
Do
best.
a quick picture.
Sure.
Yeah?
Let's get it.
A face off. Just a bit. No, okay. No problem. No problem. No problem.
That's great. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Nice to meet you,
I would love to have the honour one day. I would love to have the honour.
Maybe one day.
Hope so, man. All the best. All the best. How's everything?
It's healing. So slowly but surely.
Okay. All the best, man.
Thanks.
Thank you, man. Thanks for letting me come on.
Not much is really being confirmed in the video, so it's hard. I can't lie, from what I'm seeing so far, it doesn't look like Jon Jones wants to fight, which is quite a weird thing to say considering he's the GOAT of UFC, you know what I mean? He's got the highest record of defenses, he's been one of the greatest, he's undefeated still. He's got such an amazing CV of fighters that he's fought, and it's a hard one to kind of fathom, because it's like, why wouldn't you want to get into the octagon with Tom Aspinall? Why wouldn't you want to go and fight again? Like, you've kind of held out for such a long time. Like against Ngannou, you held out because there was this sort of fear that with his power there is a chance of you getting beat, so you wanted more money, and then that didn't quite work out. He left the UFC and he's gone on to do sort of like, you know, exhibitionist boxing, and then you come back to fight Cyril Gane, who you beat fairly easily just through wrestling too, and now Tom Aspinall's coming up and he's an up-and-comer who is looking like he's going to be the next champion. And it's hard because it kind of feels as though he's worried about tainting his legacy. But if that is the case, then he needs to retire. And like, of course, no one wants to necessarily see that, because it's hard to watch like these greats not partake in the sport anymore. It's hard to see people like when Khabib quit UFC and quit MMA. You know, he was so dominant, he was so good. Watching him when I was young, people like GSP fighting, Michael Bisping, all these people who like you really admire. It's hard to watch them finish their career, but at the same time, if you can't compete at that level anymore, you can either keep fighting, which, you know, if you look at someone like Donald Cerrone, who kept fighting even when he was past his prime, you can do that. It's quite a hard watch for a lot of the fans, but, you know, it means that you're still in it, you're still in the mix of it all, or you retire, like Khabib did. And I think for Jon Jones at the minute, I don't think he really knows what he wants to do. He kind of wants to stay on top, still be the baddest man in the world, but he doesn't want to compete for it anymore the way that he used to. And he's getting older as well. Every single time he doesn't fight, every week, every month, he's getting older and older, and it's becoming more and more unlikely. And I think the amount of time he had out of the octagon before he fought Cyril Gane, that was a real long time. That could have went either way. And because he's such a great of the sport and he's so good, such a good fighter, he did come in and he won. But then Tom Aspinall's having to wait now, and some fighters are losing their prime waiting around for these fights. because they don't fight every week. They don't fight every month. They fight. It takes 6 months roughly for a fight to be organised. And realistically, how many fighters do you know that are consistently fighting 3, 4, 5 times a year? It just doesn't happen. So it's hard. But look at that video. In my opinion, Jon Jones doesn't seem interested in the fight, if you ask me.
Yeah, it was good, mate. All peaceful. I want to fight him, but I don't want to fight in an event. I want to have a UFC fight with him. So I just asked if he'll give me the opportunity one day. He said he's healing up good, so we'll see. We'll see what he does.
It doesn't look likely to me that he's going to be fighting Jon Jones anytime soon. I think it's a shame for the heavyweight division. I think it's just kind of been left on hold for a while, for a long time. But it's hard, you know. It's hard. These people do have to do what's right for them. I do think sometimes fighters can get forced into fight too quickly and they haven't recovered in things. But it's hard, isn't it? It is hard because it's the fight we want to see. And I feel like we lost the Ngannou fight. I don't know if that's ever going to happen again. I think it's very unlikely that Ngannou will sign back with the UFC anytime soon, especially with the money that he's making in boxing now. So there does seem to be a nervousness surrounding Jon Jones and with fighting with Tom Aspinall because Tom Aspinall's got such a great skill set. But then, so does Jon Jones. So it's hard to call, really, of why it's being held off. Here it is. This is what I'm looking for.
I fought against this guy named Daniel Cormier. And Daniel fought with a lot of aggression. And I used that against him in certain moments. He was pushing into me. I used the same grip. I snapped down. And I used his momentum against him. Boom! Here we go.
He looks heavy, man, and he can't be sitting at that weight for too long because it's got to be uncomfortable, surely. I think he needs to fight Aspinall. I think he does need to fight Aspinall. I think by not doing it, it's a real disservice to the people who are coming up, and it's not fair. Like, he was the champion from such a young age. He's a champion from a young age because people gave him the opportunity to fight for the belt. We've also got this as well, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. That is crazy. Like, let's look at Mike Tyson's training footage. But Mike Tyson looks good, man. I can't lie. It's hard. I did a video the other day, which I'll put at the end. Good, man. He looks sharp as hell.
Me too. Getting ready for you. Day 3. You still want to with me?
It's like when he was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and it was the one that he did before he fought Roy Jones Jr. The first time he went onto the podcast, he was like overweight. He was like dosing heavily on like shrooms and weed and whatever else he was taking. And he was just chill, man, like jolly, a little bit overweight. But then he obviously talks a lot on like a lot of his podcasts and videos about how his ego gets ignited when he trains and like the person that he turns into when he's training. And it's like, oh shit, like he's a scary guy. Then he went back onto Joe Rogan again, and he was like in good shape, and he's like got that heavy breathing, deep stare sort of thing. Joe Rogan like laughs at something, and he's like, hey, like it's not funny, hey. And it's like, because he said he was in bed for a week, and it's like he talks about how his ego gets ignited, and this other person comes out, and you see it there when he says, "Someone to fuck with me?" Like he's got that sort of old Mike Tyson glare. But again, it doesn't change the fact that he's old. It doesn't change the fact that these fights historically haven't been great in terms of the way they've ended. He is old. He is 57. He is, at the end of his career, he was struggling, to keep up with these fighters. Jake Paul has been training heavily. He's young. He's got age on his side. He's got cardio on his side. And those are the things. That's the hard thing about it, is that if Mike Tyson can back him into a corner and just punch his head in, he's got a good chance of doing well. But the problem is he going to be able to do that? Because obviously Jake Paul will be thinking this. His whole team's going to be thinking this. You don't want to be trapped with the hardest hitter in boxing history. Or one of them at least. You know what I mean? So it's tricky to kind of gauge what the fight's going to be like. But I really do, nothing would make me happier than Mike Tyson winning. And it's not even because, I hate Jake Paul. I don't necessarily like the guy. I don't know him. But from what I see online and that, I'm not really into all that sort of thing. But when Mike Tyson for me is like a hero. I think he's honestly like I used to watch all of his fights growing up, and I loved him. I thought he was so like I don't even know how to explain it. He was the guy. He is the guy, and like you watch him, and he's just everything he's been through and what he's overcome and what he did in boxing and what he's done after boxing. All the things that he's went through in his life, man, I think he's such a cool guy. See, people are saying that Jake Paul doesn't look great in his footage. Let's have a look at some Jake Paul training footage to compare the two. Even the comments, who's he after news? But this is like, yeah, a year ago, so this isn't recent. This is the only kind of training footage that's out at the minute. Like, he's got a stiff jab, which is good, but then again, for how long he's been boxing, he should have a good jab. Like, I boxed all through my youth. I haven't boxed any time recently, you know, jab has never left me, so he should have a stiff jab, you know what I mean? But, I don't know. It's hard, because I keep rooting against this guy, and he keeps winning, you know, but it's going to be some fight. The one thing I can say for certain is that I will be watching it on Netflix when it comes out. I do want to see what happens. I do hope that Mike Tyson just absolutely runs through the guy. Like, that would just, nothing would make me happier. But there is a lot of risk on Jake Paul, because you look at him fighting Mike Tyson, it's kind of a lose-lose for him. Kind of feels like it's a lose-lose for everyone, but especially for him, because if he beats Mike Tyson, he's beating an old man. And if Mike Tyson beats him, he got beat by an old man. And I know I keep bringing this up, and I hope that, and hopefully if I ever meet Mike Tyson, he doesn't watch this video, but yeah, it would just be one of those things where, like, there's not a hell of a lot of reward for Jake Paul, but I think he does that. He does things where there's not a lot of, like, honour in the fight, but then he takes all that honour that there would have been had the guy been younger, or had the guy been stronger, or if the guy was in his prime, or the reputation of the guy when he was young, and he kind of takes that and applies it to this fight. It's like with Logan Paul when he fought against Mayweather, and he was like, I just, like, you know, beat the greatest boxer in the world. And it's like, bro, you're like 50 pounds heavier than him. You know what I mean? Even more even. And it's like, you're like, you know, he's like 5'8", 5 foot. He's even 5'8". He might be like 5'5", 5'6". He's a tiny wee guy, and you're like 6'3", 6'4". It's like you're fighting against him. You're well above his weight category, and you still couldn't knock him out, even with all the weight you had on him. And it's that thing where they take these little victories and they apply it and kind of be like, yeah, well, I'm the best because I did this. And it's like, bro, it doesn't make any sense. You guys are big guys. You're heavy guys. You shouldn't be fighting against someone like Mayweather. You shouldn't be fighting against an old man and looking at that as a win. It's like, go and fight a fucking boxer your own age. Like, Jake Paul fought Tommy Fury and he got beat. Logan Paul's been beaten every single fight except from the Dylan Dennis one. It's like, fight people your weight, fight people your age. How hard is it to do? How many times do people have to say it to you before you would do it? It's crazy. It makes no sense why you haven't done it. You know what I mean? Silly. But anyway, we'll watch the fight. We'll see what happens. I'm going to cut the video there because I could go on all day about this. But I'm thinking, in terms of Aspinall and Jon Jones, I do think Jon Jones needs to give Tom Aspinall a fight here, or he needs to give up the belt and retire. I don't think you can just hold on to it like you're doing. It's not fair for the heavyweight division. It's not fair for the UFC fans. Let's get something moving here. And in terms of the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight, come on, Mike Tyson, batter him, alright, because he deserves it. Anyway, if you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. I'm loving making these videos. I'm really enjoying the process, and I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying it too. Every single day I'm learning something new. Yeah, I'm going to keep doing it. Again, I've set myself the task of making a video every day for a year, and I'm going to be vlogging as well as doing this. I've already started a vlog for today, so I'm going to be doing that. But yeah, like and subscribe. Please leave a comment on anything you want to see in the future. Talk about fighting points or UFC or Bellator MMA, all those types of things. If you want to talk about anything else, just leave a comment in the channel. We'll try and get round to it as best as we can. And yeah, I hope you have a good day, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you tomorrow.